of our gear yet. So it's coming, but um, I just think that that is worth a look if especially our tree and shrub yard has just the whole face of it has changed. So
Everybody that
just
has made a
appealing.
comment has
Yes.
been like, "Oh my gosh, what have you guys done?" Did we have a couple of pergolas that we put up a few years ago that people are
I do have
asking
that. It's in
a
there.
lot about? It's in the FJ.
Yes. Hmm. Whatever. It's here. So
We built some pergolas there out front. Hamus Mountain Construction put them up for us. Jesse Armio. So we're starting to get a lot of questions. How much were the prices of the kits that you saw? Like $2,500.
I don't remember. Anyway.
These are done for us. They're done by 8x8s. They're done by timber that's been stained. The footings were put in the ground. They're a couple inches off the ground, so they'll never rot. I say all that because there are three of them, and the three of them cost 10 grand. But if you break that down, that's either $2,500 for the two little ones and 5 grand for the big one, or $3,000 a piece, whatever. You can't buy a kit for that. And the kit you still have to do. You have to put it up yourself. And it's not 8x8s. Because I said, I want 6x6 and I want the rope vigas and I want this and that. He did everything we wanted him to do. He said, you don't want 6x6, you want 8x8 for the uprights. And then I was going to do by 4x4s on the top. He said, nope, you need 6x6. And they are stately. It's changed the look of the nursery. Shout out to Isaac, who has absolutely busted his hump over the last few weeks, re-graveling the yard. The boys out there in the yard are helping put up a bunch of new product that we got in yesterday. We got a bunch, like I said, maples. We got some pecan trees, and hard to find, hard to get. So fruit trees galore. Again, I'm not sure we're going to get fruit this year. I noticed this morning our apple tree is leafed out, and it's one of the last things. Apples are smart. We consider them smart. We're like, oh, they're not going to leaf out till they know better. It's not true. This year, it's not true.
Yeah. Lots of, I mean, we kind of had a little, we did not have this last year, to be honest. I mean, it was cool a lot of the spring last year. But
April was terrible.
April was cold. So I say that because we are experiencing all this really mild weather. We've had a very mild winter. If you're not watering your things already, you ought to be.
Yeah.
But we may find that April turns into being chilly again. We don't know what that's going to look like just yet. So, just stuff to kind of be prepared for.
Pre-emergence and fertilization is time for. I'm going to tell you, we're going to break all the rules, because as much as we're cautious about, yes, it's going to freeze again and there's going to be damage because of that frost, you're not going to stop that. You're not going to stop it. It's going to happen.
Right.
If it's going to happen, and the likelihood is very probable. So our rose pruning seminar is next week, because we push it as long as we can. We don't think you should prune your roses until they're growing, because pruning them makes them grow faster. And once they've started growing, you might as well prune and fertilize and water and hope for the best and incur as little damage as possible. But our roses are outgrowing. Jen's already started pruning on some of them. Things are out and blooming. You might as well. Are we going to get a frost? I believe that we are. Is that going to take off the fruit? I believe that it's going to. Is it going to nip the roses? Yes, probably. Is it going to kill anything?
No.
Basil.
Basil. I mean,
or tomatoes or things that won't take it, but nothing's going to die from
it. Might look a little funky for a while because it's got to leaf back out or something along those lines, but
we have the strongest pre-emergent that's out there. It's expensive, but it's good. I say it's expensive. It's costly. It's $50 a bag, but it is twice the strength. The product I had underneath, when twice as big a bag, was the same price, but it was half the strength. The product is Dimension. It's made by Bonide. It's called Crabgrass Preventer. If you are ready to do this, it's time to dethatch, aerate, fertilize, and get on it. If you're going to dethatch and aerate, do that first, because this pre-emergent is a barrier you're put down. We also got 200 bags of our fertilizer.
Mhm.
Our fertilizer can be used for everything. I'm a generalist, and the fertilizer I had formulated for us is that fertilizer. It's good for trees, shrubs, roses, lawns. I wouldn't use it on vegetables, and I wouldn't use it on annual flowers. I would use it on perennials. I think it's
Yep.
better for fruit trees than the fruit tree food oil and the rose food. I asked the Albuquerque Rose Society why they would endorse the 1688. That's the numbers on my fertilizer with 15% sulfur and 5% iron. That's what makes it great. And they said roses bloom on new growth. I said, okay.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep. Yeah. So the other thing that I'm doing a talk this afternoon on vegetable gardening. So there are some things um, that I will be going over in class. Just some things to kind of keep in mind when, if you're going to do, for instance, cool season stuff, which if you're going to do starts right now or start, I guess, some stuff by seed, I probably would only do leaf lettuce by seed now. I'm not saying that you couldn't do other things, but if you're looking at things like Swiss chard or uh, collard greens or any of that kind of stuff, I personally think at this uh, stage of the game that you would probably be better served doing starts on those, because those are things that will actually do okay over the course of the summer if you don't bake them in the sun all afternoon.
Yeah, we've had Swiss chard and it's so colorful. I don't even know if we use it. We switch from lettuce to chard.
I feed it a lot of it to my chickens though.
Yeah.
So
And it looks cool. I mean, there's all
beautiful.
these great colors in chard. So 505-243-3333. Somebody out there, 505-243-3333. Jennifer and Richard from Jericho Nursery taking our halfway break. It's 96.3 News Radio KKOB.
Guest house.
Back live in studio. 505-243-3333 is the number. Now's the time. More things you can do than you can't, but we scare people by telling them what you can't do. You can do most of what you want to do. There's just a few things you should be careful about. Mark, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Rick. Jennifer, how are you guys?
Good,
Doing
sir.
great.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Good. Hey, yeah, I had a question on that pre-emergent you were talking about. I think it's Bonite or...
Yeah, Bonite is the name of the company. I think it's called Crabgrass Preventer.
Yeah. And is that, you can use that on your grass, obviously,
Correct.
right?
Yes. But you can use it...
Can you use it on gravel also?
Yes.
Yes.
You can.
So you can actually just spread that and take care of all that. Okay.
You can. And
And
it needs to... Good. Thanks for allows me to expand. It lasts about 3 months, so you need a second application in the summertime.
You also
Okay.
need to make sure you water it.
Yeah,
I was going to
activates
say,
it.
that's the water.
Right.
You water before or after?
After.
After, to wash it in.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's all I had.
I appreciate the call, Mark.
Well, everything else, I guess. You know what? I do have one on sunflowers.
Okay.
Those can just be planted right outside. You don't have to seed them
Nope. You can
indoors or anything.
direct sow those.
Yeah. Those will
Ours come
up
back
quick.
naturally, so they just come back when they're good and ready. And they're the smarter ones. I've never seen a sunflower take a light frost and hurt it.
Right.
Or a morning glory. Morning glories come back a lot later, but sunflowers come up by themselves from the year before. So yeah, direct sow those.
Yeah, and they're pretty hardy then.
Very much
Okay.
so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Rick, thank you. You guys have a great day, and love the show, man.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate the call. John, good morning.
Good morning. Question. Let's go with my wisteria first.
Okay.
I've got one, and it's about 50% blooming already. And I'm wondering, we're supposed to get a freeze, I think,
Monday. Yep.
Night.
Yep.
Is that going to hurt the rest of the buds?
Yes, it is.
So whatever's blooming that's it.
Well, unless you do something to protect it, but yeah, it'll freeze those buds right off. So you could take have you made a tree out of it, or is it a vine?
It's both.
Can you cover it?
It's an old plant. I've let it go, and it has spread quite a bit.
If you could cover it, you might save the blooms. It's right at freezing, and a sheet, we sell frost blankets, frost cloths. But what I recommend is, and the reason I asked if it's a vine or a tree, is if you take a stake and stake in the middle of the plant that sticks up a little higher than the plant and create a teepee so that the stake is holding the frost blanket or sheet off the plant a little bit. And throw a light bulb in there. If I was surprised. I stood up yesterday at my soon-to-be son-in-law's house, and the light from his kitchen table was warm. So if you put one of those lights with a tin that you put under your for working on your car,
Right.
the hood lamps, that with the sheet, you probably save a lot of the blooms.
Okay, I'll see what I can do with that. The other question on my rose bush, I do want to trim it a little bit. How far can I go without, injuring it?
How long has it been since you pruned it last?
Last summer.
Okay. How big are the branches? How big around? Like a pencil or a pen or a Sharpie, or bigger?
Some are anywhere between a pencil and a heavy pen.
Okay. You can prune heavily. The most severe pruning, and this is a young enough plant, and the reason I asked the questions, you could prune everything down to 18 to 24 inches, leaving 5 to 8 canes of the whole plant, everything kind of vased out from the center, but you could prune knee high if you wanted to. So you're not going to hurt it by pruning pretty severely. It kind of depends what you want the plant to be. Jen has helped me learn that, because that severe knee high pruning means that your waist high rose bush is what it's going to be.
Right.
If you leave the half the plant or 3/4 of the plant, just take some of the top, you have a nice bigger plant. So you're fine. And we have a rose pruning seminar next week. If you wanted
Right.
to bring in some pictures and talk to the queen of pruning roses, Marissa Thompson, Dr. Marissa Thompson, the state
Right.
horticulturalist, will be around next week to
And
do the pruning class.
The glory to Marisa is she fully encourages you to make mistakes and maybe even prune back further than you thought you could, because roses are incredibly resilient. So the likelihood of you doing damage, unless they are very, very old canes that are as big as your wrist, you are probably not going to do a whole lot of damage.
And if you want to wait a week and come to the seminar, you could get very specific, but you could prune now and not be harming, and you can prune way down, or you can prune just a little bit off the tops.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, and I enjoy your show.
Thank you,
Thank
John.
you.
Appreciate the call. 505-243-3333 is the number. I'm going to say it now, so if we get some calls, we'll decide. I texted John Seaver from Just Sprinklers and talked to Stig yesterday, and he said, if I don't hear from him, his commercial is going to be firewood, which I am sure that's not what he wants to promote, but he might. We're going to get rid of firewood. I need to write that down, take my one more pallet of firewood up to the other house. I'm sure he's going to tell us to promote Soilutions products. He has partnered with Soilutions big time, and he is doing most of their smaller deliveries. You can still buy lots of yardage, like 10 yards. But if you're doing anything less than 5 yards, you're going to do it through Just Sprinklers. You can buy totes. He has dump trucks. You can buy bags. We have the bag product. So Just Sprinklers has decided to team up with Soilutions. They have half a dozen products at least. Thanks to Wendy last week, she taught a class. They sell pecan shell in bulk, one of Jen's favorite mulches, and we had to quit carrying it because the squirrels were eating through the bags.
Right. I actually like pecan shell mulch as a soil amendment, particularly for the west side, because some of the fine materials just sift their way through the sand each time you water very quickly. So it's a good product to have mixed in the soil to help hold moisture. It is also naturally acidic, so it helps with the alkaline soil situation.
Alex, good morning.
Got two questions for you. I only had one, but you started talking about the frost, and now I got two questions.
Okay.
My wife has a bunch of trees. They got apples, peaches, she got grapes, and they're all blooming like mad.
Yep.
And I said, we always have frost right at the end that wrecks this stuff.
Right.
You said something about covering it up somehow.
Yep.
Or are these trees resilient enough to? We live up in the mountains.
They are not going to take a frost. You got to cover if you think you're going to try and save fruit.
Right.
These are huge trees.
Yep. So probably hard to cover.
Yes.
So
they are.
Jen, we're selling a lot of dwarf trees, and if the tree's small enough that it's not been planted and you can move it in for the night, fine. But a big tree, I think, would be very difficult to cover. You can cover some small stuff. You can try and cover portions of it. We carry a frost blanket. I think it's called Insulate, which is a little heavier duty than the row cover. But anything you can do to do some protection, you need to do, because
not plastic though.
Not plastic. Where are you at? Where did you say?
That was my next question, but go ahead.
Where did you say you were?
Up in East Mountain.
You're gonna freeze.
Yeah,
Monday night
for sure. So the things that you can use are the Insulate. That gets you about 5 to 7 degrees. Okay. There's a whole lot of folks that'll put like a chick lamp inside of
I can
heat lamps,
like a little heat. Inside of the row cover. And if you don't want to make the trip into town, you can use a king size cotton sheet. That would work out okay for you too. You don't get quite as much warmth out of that, but it does make a difference.
No, I don't mind driving into town to get the right stuff. We want to. We have these a tremendous amount of fruits, and my wife gets all excited about this.
No, you might just
So I'm the worker. I'm the worker. She's the one that
cover part of it. Call the store first. Make sure we have it before you drive all the way in, and
Okay.
we didn't have any.
All right,
stuff.
I will. Do you mind telling me the name of the store so I know where to go?
Sure, it's Jericho Nursery. It's 101 Alameda. If you're coming down Alameda from I-25, we're on the right side of the tracks, north side next to Jiffy Lube.
I will make the trip, and we'll get the blankets, and I'll put some bulbs, like you said. I heard you say. My side is the bark beetles. I love my pine trees. I have a bunch of them, and I love them. They're doing beautiful. But are we going to have a horrible infestation this year? Maybe.
I think we are, because it's been so mild. When we had the infestation several years ago, it was all due to drought, which is also part of our problem. We've been extremely mild, and drought as we haven't had the rain or the snow, so bark beetle is inevitable. I believe
it's going to be hard.
And
what do you recommend?
38 plus for a spray is the strongest thing you can buy, and the only thing listed for bark beetle, and imidacloprid, which is the 12-month poured around the root, systemic.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Do you have that?
Yes. I do. I have them both.
So one stop, I can get everything.
I hope
my trees are over 40, 45 feet tall, and they're gorgeous.
Get this on them right away.
Yeah,
it moves real slow through the tree.
Yeah, and the other thing is water your trees.
The systemic water. Get the systemic on it, because it moves a foot a day. It'll take 2 months to get into the tree. Until then, spray with 38 plus.
Okay. I will be there, and thank you so much for all this information.
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate the call.
Thanks.
All right, I got to put on my glasses. Connie and Dave, we got to take our last. Corinne and Dave, we got to take our last break. Still got time if you want to get in.
Those glasses.
505-243-3333. 505-243-3333. Jennifer and Richard from Jericho Nursery, right here on 96.3 News Radio KKOB. We'll be right back. Good morning. My wife deserves a shout out. I worked for 3 weeks on my commercials, and we're sitting here, and I'm reading and rereading and timing. And she's like, "Can I try?"
First take, baby.
Yeah, it was great. Does pre-emergent work on Russian sage? No, it does not. Pre-emergents are seed prevention. Russian sage is coming up from suckers.
Isn't it
So-
supposed to, though?
Not seed. No, it's a pre-emergent only stops seed. This is
Isn't that product though post I'll have a
for
post
for,
to.
for not. I don't think it's going to touch a sucker from a
Got it.
Russian sage. It's just way too strong. And if I get back to that one on the text, I will, but I want to take the phone calls because Corinne and David had been waiting. Corinne, good morning. Thanks for calling.
Hi, good morning, Rick. Hi, Dan. I sent something via text, a picture of my yard. It's connected to a field, and I have weeds growing. And you just said something. Oh, wait, let me before I go on with my question, I'm going to get off track. Thank you and Jen both for all your knowledge and all your plans. But Jericho's so much more. You guys are so much more than that. I drove in this past week, and I needed to get some items, but I also found a big plant. It was like a stand with wheels on it. Huge.
Yeah.
Those are rare to find.
Thank you.
And I found it at Jericho, and I just got so excited. So thank you for stocking unique items that people really need.
Thank you very much.
And they're plant lovers.
And for you to say we're more than it, it's touching. It's warms the cockles. So thank you for the compliments.
Well, I'm sincere. So anyway, let me get back to my question. Obviously, the picture didn't go through. So I heard you say earlier about pre-emergent is for plants because of the property that's behind on my property. I'm getting a lot of weeds. I spent last week blowing goat heads off my driveway, which is quite long. So I've got some weeds that have flowers on them. Do I use pre-emergent on that? Do they
Nope.
need to be pulled first? What do I do?
Well, pre-emergent is going to stop anything that big. So you've got to use post-emergent, which there are several different ones. Jen really likes this chickweed killer, but we don't have a concentrate in right now. We have a ready to use. We have a product called Kills All. We have a product called Cleanup. These are all Roundup type products. I know Roundup has a bad reputation, but if properly used, I find it to be a very effective weed killer. It's warmed up now that it should be effective. I used it a couple weeks ago and didn't have the effect I wanted to because it hadn't warmed up enough. But you'll need to use a post-emergent on things that are already up and growing unless you're going to get out there and just cut them down to nothing.
Or pull them.
Yeah, no, a post-emergent. Okay, well.
Which would be a
won't be
spray
until-
for the most part.
Yeah, most of those would be sprays.
Yeah. And then one other question. It was really hard transferring that one plant from one roller to the other one because
Right.
it's that huge.
Yeah.
And I have quite a few years. They're some are 10 years old. Do you know of any company that will come in home and if I bought new containers, transplant them from one container to another? I'm just, they're just so big. And
I'm going to throw
a
out,
lot of
and
work.
this is really going to throw people. I'm going to throw out Osuna Nursery's name because they do maintenance. So
You mean
maybe,
houseplant maintenance?
yeah, they
Mhm.
do interior scape maintenance. So maybe
Okay.
they would do that for you.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a deal. I just feel, I'm brand loyal. Sorry.
I appreciate
feel
that
like
very
I'll
much.
cheat
But if
on
we
you.
can't meet your need, then let somebody that can do. That's fine with us.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Thanks, Corinne. Appreciate the call. Dave, we're going to try. If you hear music, I'm going to put you back on hold, but we probably get through it. What you got?
For David?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I had a septic system put in my backyard down here in Los Lunas, and as a result, half of my backyard is now dirt. So I bought 4,000 pounds of compost and rototilled it in,
Okay.
and I've got 50 pounds of K31 tall fescue I want to plant. And I have two questions. When can I plant that and be sure it's not going to freeze or die?
Now,
Okay.
March 15th
And
to
then
April 15th is the best time for planting cool season grass. So you're right on target.
Okay. And then I got a roller, a thing that you fill up with compost. It's about 30 inches wide, and it's made out of screen. Basically.
Oh, right.
You
Yeah.
roll it over.
Yep.
Can I do that on top of grass seed without trampling it down, or
Yes.
would it damage it?
No. It's a good spreader for covering up the grass seed.
Okay. Oh,
I haven't
excellent.
seen one of those in decades.
Yeah.
The water roller that you put water in to compact things, that I don't understand at all. It's 250 pounds of weight that you're smashing down soil that you just rototilled to lighten everything up, and then you come in with a roller and smush it down.
It's
I
one
guess I
thing if you're
understand
gonna
for
use
sod to push the seams together, but that peat moss roller to get your soil covered up, cover up your seed with soil is a great machine. Great
and I
tool.
was worried about my feet, my foot pressure as well. But
No,
apparently that's
you'll be
not going to
fine.
be an issue.
Nope, not at all.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how to get him to call the first half of the show. As always, thanks for being part of our day, allowing us into your homes. Come and see us. Jen's teaching a class this afternoon on how to grow vegetables if you want to be around at 2:00. Next week, Marissa will be teaching pruning roses. Come see us. As you can hear from all of our guests, something special about Jericho. And we are so pleased and proud to have that be the case. Again, thanks for being part of our day, allowing us to be part of yours till next week. Yes, surprise, surprise, next week. I'll see ya. We're out.